think my identity's changed, especially people that knew me 5, 6 years ago would think, oh, I can't believe he's done this. But then you see so many new people that I've met and they think, oh no, but yeah, you are a professional, you're an expert. So it doesn't take long to change your identity. If you feel like you're someone who you're not and you're putting on a mask every day, I don't know, I don't have to look forward to tomorrow. I can just enjoy right now. So for me, photography brought that value to life more than anything else because I always knew that I was someone that likes to be present, but sometimes the situation could get the better of me. Life could get the better of me. But that having the camera on my person in my bag always made sure I was present. But I started to realize actually, as long as we have the ability to express our creativity and to just be creative, whether it's in public or in our homes, we will be free.
Hi everyone, I'm Camilo Torres, and welcome again to Flowcast. In here, we're going to have amazing conversation with the beautiful people that has joined our community. We're going to get a lot of inspirations for their life journeys, passions, creations, because we believe that when you share your unique story, you can inspire others. So please enjoy this new Flowcast, and also I would love to invite you to join our community. And if you would like to share your story, please go to our website, flowwithcommunity.com, for more information. Thank you. So please welcome Martin. Hi, Martin.
Hey Camila, how's it going?
Good. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course, pleasure.
And thank you so much for being part of the community
Of course.
and sharing your story.
Of course. Yeah.
And so lovely how we met.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Which it was like you did amazing pictures for the Flow event. And yeah, I would love to hear your story. I love the pictures, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah.
And I know you're very passionate about photography, and I would love to know about more about that.
Definitely. Yeah, I look forward to more events. Obviously, your community is really inclusive, and I love how everyone was very happy at the event. It made my job much easier. You put on a really good show, so yeah, can't wait for the next ones.
Nice.
No, definitely. I think it's important to obviously spread this kind of message around inclusivity because everyone's got their own story, but it doesn't mean that we need to distance ourselves from others. That uniqueness can actually bring us together. So I think that's why for me coming on here was important because definitely someone might be watching and I might have some knowledge that I take for granted, but someone else might be watching and thinking, oh, he makes good points. Maybe I should look into it, and it might help someone. So yeah, thanks for having me.
No, my pleasure. And I mean, to complement what you said is,
Yeah.
I mean, when we know that we can learn from each other and we can learn from others, super important. And then that's why sharing the stories matters.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, my story it kind of starts with well, you could say it starts when I'm born, but I think look, I have a background in project management and marketing. I worked for a big corporation, like a top 10 UK company for years. I'm not gonna say who, but yeah, for many years. You can go on my LinkedIn and check it if you want. I was there for like 5, maybe 6 years. Then when I left, I wanted to go into something that was a bit more open, a bit more flexible. So I was actually freelancing for a startup, a coaching startup that was just based online. And then I got a job permanently in a luxury company called it was actually VIC. It was over in Mayfair. So I thought in that stage I've got a bit of experience in everything, still in my 20s, but still not quite as fulfilling as I wanted my career to be. So I was actually seeing I was getting one-to-one life coaching sessions with a company called We Are Because You Are, um, which I'm not affiliated with in any way. They're just a company that I sought their services, and yeah, we had some really good sessions, and I think the whole benefit of that for me was to actually challenge me to make decisions that were good for me, rather than relying on someone else constantly to come and tell me what's good for me. I think my whole career I was relying on managers, mentors to tell me what's good, what's bad. I think that really helped me take steps forward myself, but obviously with the right guidance, with the right, healthy coaching relationship. But then I think what happened was I bought new camera equipment because I was always doing photography, but I decided to invest in more equipment just to kind of really be in touch with the latest
Mhm.
things that are available. And I went to your country, Colombia, and I was there for nearly a month. And then I went to Brazil. So the whole time I'm traveling and I'm seeing new things, living a fulfilled life, call it a little career break if you like. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm getting a lot better at this. Maybe when I come back, I'm going to start doing things on the side, like a little side hustle, getting photography jobs, gigs, learning video. Maybe I can shadow people in this industry. So I kept my job. As I said, I was at the luxury company at the time, and then I was still doing my marketing stuff. But then I realized that actually the side piece, the photography and video, was starting to overtake how much time I could have available on my main job. And I was bringing my laptop in, and my lunch breaks I was editing, and some days the office was empty. People working from home I used to come in still, edit pictures and stuff. So I realized actually there's no point keeping my full time job. I can actually grow this business, and I can see the world. Sky's the limit. All the things that I discussed on coaching a year before that were starting to come true. So I had faith in the roadmap that we designed together. So that's kind of my journey. It wasn't. I can't just take full credit for it. I did have the right guidance. I had the right people around me. Um, at the time, I just started dating my girlfriend, so she was obviously very supportive. And I think with men, commitment changes how we see things.
Mhm.
Which I don't know if people that have been on this um, flowcast have mentioned, but I've found that definitely that commitment, keeping me focused on like one thing, really helped me. Because I think sometimes men can get very easily distracted. So I'd say these supporting measures help keep me in check, and they help me be consistent. So in terms of my story, that's kind of I've always been into photography, never really had that self confidence to jump into it, never believed I could be a professional because of all the typical reasons. I didn't do it at uni, I wasn't an
Mhm.
artist at school. All those simple things were telling me in my head like little voices. No, no, you're not a photographer, you're not. But actually, when you turn it around and start to think, oh, I am, your words and your thoughts are powerful. So yeah, that's my story in a nutshell.
And how did you change your mindset?
I think it was the coach. He on the first session he said to me, "I've noticed that actually you've got what's called a lot of limiting beliefs, and as humans we have certain mechanisms, survival mechanisms in our heads to help us survive, where we narrow things down into decisions that we can make quickly. And one of those survival mechanisms is limiting beliefs. We start to believe something, we create a bias, and if we stick to that, it protects us from things that are new, things that like change. Sometimes change is not good, but sometimes change is good. But I think sometimes when we start to get older, we stick to what's comfortable, and that's a survival mechanism. So it's completely natural. We all do it, but he noticed it in me, and he said it to me, and then he said to me, "I want you to go and think about it. I'm not telling you what to do, but I want you to think about it. You've said things on this session, and this is evidence of limiting beliefs." So I
Mhm.
went away and I thought, oh, I wonder what other limiting beliefs I have I don't realize. So I started to become more self-aware, and it's just like retuning a guitar, you know, like you just have to change it in that moment, and then after that you start to think differently, feel differently, and then you start to act differently. So I'd say that's the kind of I don't know, I'm not a psychologist, but I'd say in my head, what you think is what you then start to do. So I'm sure it's the same for you. You've made a lot of changes and even moving countries. So I'm sure you understand
Yeah,
that familiar feeling.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And thank you. And I think it's well, it's very related with what I think, and I think it's a mindset. And when you have the mindset of locking everything, like getting getting in the comfort zone, it's you will never change and you never expand. And then when you change that mindset is when you're out of the comfort zone and you get new experiences and new opportunities, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so when I joined the EIC, they had a photographer that was
Mm.
kind of like their in-house resident photographer, and he then they stopped working with him, and we needed more content, we needed more campaigns, and my job was to roll out campaigns. But things were starting to slow down, and I actually volunteered to bring my camera lens to work. I said, look, if you give me some time, maybe I can recreate what he was doing temporarily until we find a new person. But then I realized they stopped looking for a new person,
Mm.
and my job became what he was doing. But they didn't obviously increase my salary, they didn't compensate me for
Mm.
using my equipment. So I think that was like a kind of way of forcing myself into the swimming pool and learning how to swim without me realizing that's what I'm doing. And then when I realized that the pictures I was taking were being used for emails, websites, I thought, oh, well, if this company that's hired me to do one job is now making me do another and they're happy with the work to the point they're not even looking for a new photographer, this is actually giving me more confidence. These little votes of confidence basically help you change the way you think. Because you need sometimes like feedback, confidence, compliments. Otherwise, yeah, you will struggle. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, you got to roll with the punches as well, obviously. But these things help.
And you need to start from somewhere, right?
Yeah, yeah. Everyone starts somewhere. Yeah,
And I think it's good to, I think we all need to change our mindset. And what you said is sometimes we have it so limited that we think what we created, and we have to create it wherever it comes out. And then
yeah,
after it will evolve,
yeah,
slowly will evolve. And with the feedbacks of people, will evolve. And then you become an expert, I guess.
yeah. I mean, even still, like I think my identity's changed. Especially people that knew me 5, 6 years ago would think, "Oh, I can't believe he's done this." But then you see so many new people that I've met, and they think, "Oh no, but yeah, you are a professional. You're an expert." So it doesn't take long to change your identity. If you feel like you're someone who you're not, and you're putting on a mask every day, it doesn't have to be this way. You know, you can be that real you. If you want to do singing, but you're an accountant and you're scared to show people you're a singer, I think there are a lot of cases like this in the world, and it's
Mm.
a bit sad, but you know, hopefully this story will help people come out of the shell a
And
bit.
yeah, I think it's also the social beliefs that we have
Mm,
put in our shoulders, and
yeah,
when we starting to take them off, then you're starting shaping your identity, and
exactly. Yeah,
that's important.
yeah.
And how photography has changed your life, or what means for you in terms of your life and your evolution as a person.
Well, when I was on my kind of coaching journey, making my roadmap, one of the exercises that they make you do is to create like a list of values
Mm.
that are like true to you, and you stick to them. So if you're ever in a doubtful position, you're not sure what to do, like you can't just go ask someone, like, you know, you're a grown man now, you have to make a decision, but you use those 5 values, or 3 to 5 values, and if any of them you sense some friction against them, then you know that decision might not be the best one. You go for one that suits all of them. So for example, I would say a few of my values. So authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
indomitable spirit, which means like always fighting, not giving up. um, Integrity, so I always keep my promises. Gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
and then also presence, like enjoying the moments, being present. And I think for me, when I started doing photography, I really felt that last one, being present, being like at the forefront of all other values, which sounds very like what's he talking about? But when you've got the camera, you will literally, well, at least me, I was never bored. I could always be in the present and not have to worry about problems at home, problems here, problems there, or maybe I don't know. I don't have to look forward to tomorrow. I can just enjoy right now. So for me, photography brought that value to life more than anything else, because I always knew that I was someone that likes to be present, but sometimes the situation could get the better of me. Life could get the better of me. But that, having the camera on my person in my bag, always made sure I was present, because if I was out and about in the most boring neighborhoods, you can
Mm.
still take interesting pictures. You can still, you know, do some cool stuff. So street photography actually was kind of how that got connected. But now I do a lot of video as well, especially commercially. I am aiming to do more in my spare time to create personal work, personal projects. But yeah, I'd say, you know, both those things are really exciting to me. There's so many new things that you can learn about. Technology's changing, the
Mm-hmm.
modern world. Photography is not what it used to be like 50 years
Mm-hmm.
ago. So,
I mean, I love your values,
oh, thank you.
and
Yeah,
thank you so much for sharing
yeah,
that.
of course.
And I think they're very nice, and living the present is something that we all, I think, is a value, or it's maybe an action, or it's something that we all should have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting how you relate that with what you're doing,
Yeah.
and I'm completely agree with like what you're saying. Also personally, I
Oh
when
yeah.
I mean I am in a journey of that, and it's really hard to find something or to live the present
Yeah. Yeah.
constantly.
100%.
Sometimes we get things in
Gets in
your
the way.
mind
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that then yeah, I love how you related with your photography,
Thanks. Yeah.
and it's great. And how, I mean, and then you talk about the future of photography, and I mean everything is changing now.
Yeah.
How do you see the future, your future with photography, and your evolution with it?
I think given the changes I've made recently in my life, like career pivots, life decisions, whatever it is you want to call it, I wouldn't close the door on any opportunity that comes my way if it suits my values. If I
Mm.
think this is like again, these like my guiding values, I think there's no reason why I wouldn't go forward and make a big change again. But for now, I'm really happy with what I do, and I think it's important to use new technologies, use new workflows. And I mean, you're an architect, so I'm sure you're aware of like different technologies that have helped you, and it's not what
Mm.
it used to be probably back in the day. It's the same for photography when it comes to editing. You've got AI features now that can do crazy things. You've even got AI photography. Like, I don't even need a camera to be a photographer, apparently. I can just go into a software, put in prompts, and the prompts
Mm.
will scan the universe, the internet, and find objects or pixels or information files and make them into what I want it to be. I'm not trained or specialized in that, but I know it exists, and I know it's only the start. It's going to get bigger. So I'm not opposed to to that idea as a concept, but I think what we're going to see is a new category of photography
Mm.
which will compete with what we do. It will have its place. If we fight it and reject it, then I think we'll neglect what we do. I'll give you an example. In the 1500s or 1800s, people used to paint
Mm-hmm.
pictures. If you were living in Colombia and the king wanted to connect you to marry someone in Spain, they would paint your picture and send it to Spain so they can see what you look like because there was no cameras
Mm-hmm.
in those days. But people still paint pictures. Just because there are cameras, people do still paint pictures and they get a lot of money, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a dead skill, it's not obsolete as far as artistry goes. So I think photography, if anything, should or photographers should look at that story or analogy and have belief that actually they still have a role to play in the future. Nothing is going to kill you. AI is not there to kill you. It's either there to help you. It's either there to um, help you or to give you something like a new skill.
Mm-hmm.
So use it in a way that benefits you. But I'd say fighting change is not an answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I mean, you said a lot of nice things in terms of change. And anyway, talking about technology and AI, and yeah, 100%. I think it's a tool that enhances your creativity, and you, well, we all going to evolve around that. But getting back to your values as well,
Mm.
I feel like the product that you're producing as a photographer, um, whatever methods, maybe half AI or half
Yeah.
photography, I don't know how will come, but then the authenticity and your story behind the length will change that, I guess. Same with an art. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's not cheap, but like I started experimenting more with film photography, like
Mm.
analog style, where you actually go buy your film, you get 36 exposures, so you have 36 pictures. You put it in your camera, you wind it up, and it's how photography used to be. I've actually gone back and invested in a vintage camera. I do film photography. I've done it now in different countries. I've written blogs about it because it really resonates with the authentic side of photography. What I click is what I get.
Yeah.
you know,
Uh-huh.
and I'm actually in the process of going a bit further in this space and getting a what they call a medium format film camera, which is like those big ones that you see like around your neck, and you look into the thing, and
Uh-huh.
it's a beast of a camera. It's not practical at all. I think I wouldn't advise it to anyone just wanting to experiment. But if you really know that you like film photography and you want to do it to the next level, that's what I'm going to do personally. So there's no AI there really. It's just what you click is what you get. So I think being comfortable on both sides of the spectrum. If I know a project or a person's business needs AI, it needs something that's not real, it's artificial, I will absolutely do what's within my power to deliver. Because as well, when I started Martin Creates, which is my business name, I said to myself, I want to empower brands and people worldwide. So this is like my mission statement. Again, I have to be true to that. Yes, ethics are always going to be questionable, but if there's a tool out there that can help me deliver something that's going to empower you
Mm.
and your flow community, I absolutely will have to look into it. So that's where I kind of draw lines in a healthy way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And I love that everybody's going back to the old-fashioned
You
ones.
like it as well,
And I
yeah?
love, well,
Yeah.
my friend always take them to the festivals of parties or
There
anything.
you go, yeah.
And they're really nice because when she publish them or everything, it's like
You have to wait.
they're really nice. They
Yeah,
make you
yeah,
fun, and it's another experience to see the picture.
yeah.
Even okay to take the picture, yes, because you get used to like take as many as you like.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like one it, that's it.
You value it more, no?
Pardon?
You value it more.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And it's the whole thing about like you're still in the present. Like there's not, oh, let's see the picture now. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wait till we get back
Mm-hmm.
to London and we can process it. So you put the camera away and it's back to party mode. I love that. I think I don't know how do you find it when you go to an event and you see people with phones and stuff. Do you not think that dampens the experience a bit? Or
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I personally don't do. I mean, I take pictures if there's something special happening, but I'm not anymore. I used to be like
yeah, I
taking
used to be.
pictures, putting on Instagram, and not living the present.
Yeah,
Now it's like if it's very something very special, but then now I'm like, hey, I'm enjoying these songs, for example, a
yeah,
concert. I'm enjoying it so much. Why I wanna take time to take the picture? It's best if it's in
eyes.
my heart
Yeah,
and the feeling of enjoyment it's with me.
yeah,
And then if I have time or if I get distracted, well, let's take a picture and that's it.
yeah.
That's why I am now.
Yeah,
So
like I just don't get it when I'm like when I'm a photographer and I'm trying to capture like the audience having a good time, and I'm thinking, but is anyone really having a good time if they've got their
mm,
phones and they're watching it through their phone? And I'm like, you're at the front of the stage, and you're watching the front of the stage through your phone. I'm
uh-huh.
thinking, bro, put the phone away, watch with your eyes. You're like this. You paid good money to be here, and just enjoy it. But it's hard. You've got a generation of people coming through who are very very much mobile phone driven. So
True, but what you said is so important about living the present, and I think it's so like whatever technology arrive, living the present will be always there,
mm,
and that's so important to let people know. Like if you live in the present, if I'm living the present, and a lot of people is not, so let's shout about that and
yeah,
how special it is.
yeah.
Some people is just taking the time and then rewatching after and
Yeah,
live
yeah,
that moment.
100%. I mean, if
Yeah.
anyone listening, watching has questions about film photography, like they're interested but they're not sure where to start, I've written blogs, or they can message me on Instagram, email me, whatever. And there's another good guy who actually helped me a lot called Harry Ma. It's
Mm.
Harry, and then surname is M.A. He actually does what I do on a professional level, but with film photography. So whereas I
Mm.
use my digital setup, I'm comfortable, I've got a workflow, and my analog film stuff is more of a hobby. He actually does fully paid projects on just film still, which in 2024, I mean, I think that's incredible that someone is still keeping this
Nice.
alive, because normally people would say it's dead. So
Mm.
yeah.
Nice. And where can we find you and where people can find your
So
services?
my website is martincreates.co.uk, and there you'll find all my blogs, paid campaigns, work, everything. And then if you want to see my personal work, which is like travel, street photography, some videos around London, New York even. I did some really good videos in New York. Um, it's Martin Creates Official. So yeah, that's on Instagram or martincreates.co.uk on Google.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I will make sure in the description
No
it will
problem.
be there.
I appreciate that.
And right to finish your first flowcast, and I
Yeah.
think we can share lots of nice things and think you have
Yeah.
really nice story.
Thanks.
I have 3 questions for you.
Go for it.
You can answer with one word or a short sentence.
Okay.
And let's start. What is creativity for you?
Freedom.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Should I elaborate?
Yeah. Let's.
So recently, I was with my friend Imad, Imad's Visions on Instagram. Really, he was actually one of the people that helped me when I was starting out in terms of camera setups and stuff. Really good guy, very, very mature for his age. I think he's going to do really good things. I was recently out with him in London doing some street photography, and we were struggling for inspiration. And then we started to notice some signs. Again, it's quite deep. Like we're just in that moment. I mean, you are free in London. It's a nice place, but we started to notice that there were some people that were not enjoying their day in London as much as maybe others, and especially like homeless people in the sun, very hot weather. There's some graffiti on the wall, and we started to realize actually whether or not freedom is an illusion. Like, are we really free? And then we had this really deep topic while we're going around.
Nice.
Anyways, but I started to realize actually, as long as we have the ability to express our creativity and to just be creative, whether it's in public or in our homes, we will be free. So yes, freedom can be an illusion at times because there's always going to be a higher power or authority. But in my opinion, creativity is being free.
Wow, love it. So nice.
Thanks.
Thank you. Second one, what is your current creative expression?
You mean as in like how do I do it or what's?
Well,
Yeah. Currently, I'd say mostly stills.
Okay.
So
Wow.
photography.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I do a lot of video work, but as I said, that's commercially driven. It's due to my skills, experience. But if I had to go out right now and choose a medium to express myself creatively, I would definitely say photography. So stills.
Nice. And the last one is what the word flow means for you.
It's a good question, actually. I thought about this the other day when we spoke about setting this up because I watched some of your other ones and I thought, okay, that's a good question. He's going to ask me that. So for me, the word flow is, again, it goes back to being free and freedom, but I think flow is what's the right word? I had it earlier. It was like subconscious when you're kind of in this state of like nothing else is in your mind, right? So being fluid, you know. And actually, one of the strange things is that when I was in my first job and I was being a project manager and stuff, there was a COVID campaign that we did, and I'm not going to go into details. It was probably not that interesting in hindsight, but at the time, I felt like I was in a flow state of mind, where like literally nothing could stop me. Like I felt really like limitless, you know. And I did a really good project, and it helped me get promoted, and I was being above average for my age, and I was really happy. And I realized it was being in this flow state that helped me get to that. And I thought, how can I achieve that again? And then when I had my coaching sessions, I said to them, they asked me, what do you want to achieve from coaching? I said, I want to have that flow state like every day. Like I know I can hit endless goals if I'm in that flow state. And they said to me, well, talk me through it. What did you feel? How did you get there? And it's this state of like my values always being in check. I'm not doing anything that's rubbing against them in the wrong way. So I think for me, flow state is about, the word flow is about the flow state of mind, you know, and I think a lot of high performing people will feel that way.
And you were in the state of flow when you told me about the photography and living the present.
Yeah.
I think it's very connected of what you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think for you as well in the past when you've told me about your story, your journey, kind of how you see certain things. I've noticed, like, it doesn't take much to put someone into that state, but it also doesn't take much to take them out of it. So I think being wary of that is important.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Martin,
Yeah,
for sharing
pleasure.
your story. And yeah, thank you for being here.
No, thank you as well, man. I enjoyed it.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Bye.